Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. I am very happy to say I've reached 5,000 subscribers. For me, that is a very overwhelming amount. I never thought that I'd even have 1,000. So I'm very happy and very grateful to all of you who are now subscribed and those of you who are now watching. I see that there's many of you from the United States, I've seen New Mexico, California, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey, I've seen Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, I think Kentucky, and I'm sure I'm missing some, and I'm sorry if I missed you. I know there's been some people from Alberta, Canada, from the UK, very excited about that, Germany, and also Australia, and New Zealand. So I'm very happy. Thank you all very much for having left your comments, and thank you for liking my videos. I want to thank you by continuing a little bit more on this 2017 Christmas by giving you 12 days of Christmas. I will be doing 12 days consecutive of little crafts and little tips for your Christmas and holiday decorating. I will cap it off with a short little video of my home as I decorate it for Christmas. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and Merry Christmas to you. All right, this is day 3 of 12 days of Christmas, and we will be making Christmas napkin rings. So let me show you all the supplies that you may be using, and then we'll get to creating. The first thing you're going to need are obviously going to be some little napkin rings, or something that you can form your napkin ring on. And I've got these from the Dollar Tree, these little silver napkin rings, and they're pretty all on their own. Let me show you one out of the package so you can see what it is. It's just a plastic silver. It's really nice like that as it is. So, but we're going to decorate them and make them look special. Now for this wrapping of my napkin rings so that we can change them up, I've got an assortment of ribbons, and I'm going to show you the ones that I got at the Dollar Tree. I've got this one here. It is a plaid. It is a wire edge. We can remove the wire, no big deal. And then I've got these little thin ones. And if you notice, this has a gold little metallic thread going through it. These red ones also have metallic print on them. I found with some snowflakes and another one that said Merry Christmas. So this is a nice little combination, and I can use either of these two to combine with this. You can choose whatever ribbons you like if you want to follow that idea that I'm going to give you. There's also this one I found with some white snowflakes, and then of course the thin one with some little snowflakes and some little swirls that I thought was a great combination. Also from the Dollar Tree, you may choose to do a diamond wrap if you want to have a blingy styled napkin ring. So I chose that, and then I found this ribbon, a white ribbon that had some silver on it. Now you don't need to get little ribbons. This is just if you want to maybe add a little bow to your napkin ring, and that's why I'm choosing this. I do have another ribbon that I've got, but I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I've had this ribbon for some time, and I actually used it in some of my snowman cap little hats. So I thought maybe I could use this as well, and this is what I have. It's a black with a silver, and I'm using silvers and golds in my Christmas actually, and this ribbon happens to fit perfectly inside of here, as well as this diamond wrap, which fits just the perfect width on here. So just take those things into consideration when you're looking for some ribbons, or if you want to use a diamond wrap, it fits perfectly. Now to embellish my my napkin rings, I've got some little decorations here. Let me show you what I found. I went to a store called At Home. I don't know if you'll have one nearby you, but if you can have any store that has Christmas items, or even Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Walmart even, I found these little mini little ornaments, and they're little deer heads with the little antlers, and I thought they were really pretty and kind of elegant, and they even have some bling going around their neck, and they've already got a little bow with a little rhinestone. But I only found one packet, and I need 6 of them, because I have a table setting of 6. Now, if you only have 4, of course, this would have been perfect. Now, the reason that I'm showing you this is because I want to show you that there's lots of little things that you can use to embellish your napkin ring. So let your imagination go wild, and if you find little items like this that could easily go on there, grab them. Also from Hobby Lobby. Now, I didn't say this was from Hobby Lobby, so I don't know why I'm saying also. Okay, from Hobby Lobby, I got this My Little Christmas, and there are little snowflakes in there. They're really pretty. I think I'm going to be using this in combination with a diamond wrap. Also from Hobby Lobby, there's these little picks. These picks are 99 cents, but they were half off, so they're actually 50 cents. And look at it has 4 leaves in there. And it's got some little berries, a little acorn, a pine cone, and then even a little swirly bit right there. So this is a lot in there for 50 cents. And I thought this was a great deal. So if you find little picks like this is also something that you can use to embellish on your napkin ring. And you don't have to use the whole thing. You can cut it up and use only little pieces, save some for another project. Also to embellish onto my napkin rings, I could be using these little, they're like pipe cleaners, and I got these from the Dollar Tree, and I've shown these before in other videos. This is a mini garland tie is what it is, and I like to use this a lot because it's really cute once you have it on your item. It doesn't look very impressive in the package, but once you get it out and fluff it up, it does look really nice. From Hobby Lobby, I got this bag, and it was also from this brand of My Little, no, actually it was a brand called Christmas Crafts. Not the My Little Christmas, but My Christmas Crafts, and it was a big bag of these little pine cones. And I don't recall, I think it might have been about $4.99, but again, I got it at 50 off, so $2.50. And so I got a bunch of these little pine cones to work with. I could also use this to decorate my napkin rings. And the ever faithful jingle bells. I didn't know which jingle bells to pick, so I just grabbed a whole bunch. And I got these all from the Dollar Tree. I've got some red ones. I got some little tiny little silver ones. And then I got these that had a little extra embellishment at the top. And I thought they looked kind of blingy, so maybe these could be used with a diamond wrap. All right, another option that I have, which I want to use for my napkins and rings specifically, is some burlap. You can use burlap, you can use any other fabric that you find that you would like to wrap around your napkin rings if you want to give them a fabric cover. All right, this is what I'm going to use. So let's get to crafting. All right, so also let me show you what tools we will be using. I'm going to be using my hot glue gun with some glue sticks. I'm going to be using my wire cutters. I'm going to be using scissors. I'm going to be using some floral wire in case I decide to make little bows. And I've got here some little needle nose pliers, which I always use when I'm doing little tiny bows. Okay, so let's get started. I want to wrap my candle rings with some fabric, and I decided that I want to use burlap. So first thing I need to do is I need to decide how wide I need to cut some strips of burlap. Now I've got this measuring stick here. This is my quilting stick. You can use any measuring device, a ruler. You can use a measuring tape if you want. Now what I would want to do is once I've decided how wide I want this, if you don't have something like this, and this happens to be 2 inches, which happens to be the measurement that I want to use for the width of my fabric, because I am going to be not only gluing it onto the outside, but then I'm going to be folding it in and gluing it on the inside. So I feel like 2 inches is just fine for the width for these particular rings. Now you could go a little bit wider, 2.5, and then have an extra 1/4 inch on each side to fold in, and then you can just overlap on the inside. But I feel like 2 inches is just right. So what you could do is you could get a piece of poster board if you happen to have, or a little piece of cardboard, and then make yourself your own little template to use to measure with. And then that way you always have a 2-inch template. Maybe make it by 18 inches so that, and then you can just mark your inches on it so that you always have something to mark with in case you can't go out and buy one of these right away, or you just want to have something quick to do some measuring, and you'll have a nice little template which will be your pattern to cut out your fabric. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to take my burlap, and it's folded here and it's folded again, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it folded. And I have been cutting from this edge right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my guide. And as a matter of fact, I had a pencil here somewhere. I don't think the pencil will write on burlap, but I'm going to try and see if it does. Yeah, because I do have a little bit where it's not exactly straight. And of course, I'm going to fold that in, so it's not really going to matter, but just because, sometimes you have to have things be perfect, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use this 2 inches, and since it's already folded, I'm just going to go ahead and use that to measure, and then cut 2 inches. I'm actually going a little bit wider. I'm just going to move my ruler up so it's kind of out of the way from where I'm going through with my scissors. Once I've cut a bit of the way, I can fold it again and use that piece to now measure the rest of what I'm cutting. And I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. Let me put it in another, and there we go. So now I've got a nice long strip. If I pull it all, unfold it all. There we go. I've got a nice long strip. Now I need to see how long I need to wrap around each of my rings. And I do want to overlap a little bit, so I'm just going to roll it around, overlap it a little bit, and trim. And then just take that piece, and I'm going to measure. That's 6 inches. So if you need to know what I did for this particular napkin ring, it's 2-inch by 6-inch pieces. And I have 6 napkin rings, so I'm going to cut 6 of these little pieces. Okay, besides the burlap, I showed you that ribbon at the beginning, and let me explain why I think you can use that. Let me start over here because it's gotten a little thin right here. I've got 4 here. Let me trim that piece off. 5 and 6. Okay, let me demonstrate, because I did buy an extra package of this so I can show you little extra ideas besides what I want to make for myself. I've gone ahead and I've already cut a piece of ribbon here, and this happens to be just a little over 2 inches wide. If I can show you that. It's just a little over 2 inches wide, and that's fine. What I'm going to do, because this is a wire edge ribbon, I'm going to pull out the little wire. Just going to kind of pull this little wire out of the edges here because I don't need it. And I'll do the same on the other side. Just pull out the little wire. You can actually save these little pieces. They're kind of thin, but they actually work really great for tying up little ribbons. Okay, so now I've got my little piece here, and actually it's about 6 inches. I don't think I measured it. I think I just went around my napkin ring when I first cut it. But yeah, it's about 6 inches. So I'm going to use this one to do a little demonstration of how you can use a ribbon instead of cutting fabric like I've done here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is obviously put a little bit of glue and put on my ribbon. And you don't have to put glue all the way down here because I don't want to really feel it, since I'm going to be folding this in and gluing that in. I feel like that'll be enough to hold the fabric onto my napkin ring. Okay, so I'm not going to put any glue. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it around as straight as I can. This ribbon has some stripes, so I'll just bring them around and meet them up, and then just another dot of glue and just fold that over and just get it on there like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in, but because this has this little edge where it's got all these little threading that make the casing for the wire, I'm actually going ahead and I'm going to trim that off. Now you could have just gone ahead and trimmed that off before with the wire already on there, but it didn't occur to me till right now that that's kind of a thick little piece of fabric, so I'm trimming it off now. But you can just do it before and you don't have to even pull out the wire. So there, I learned something as I'm doing this, and you have too. Okay, now all I want to do now is fold in my fabric. But the one thing about folding in fabric when you're doing something circular, it can get bulky in some spots. So what I want to do is just make sure that I've got this right where I want it. Don't let it move. And then I'm going to go in and make little cuts on the fabric. And I'll show you that in a minute, what I've done. Little cuts. See that all the way around? Let me hold it against the white so you can see. Little cuts to make like little tabs on the fabric all the way around. Okay? That's what I've done. So now those little tabs can fold down. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to put like a little dot of glue on them as I push them down. Little dot of glue on the edge, and then just push them in as you go. And this was the part that was overlapping on the end, so I have to fold that in as well. And just put glue on several as you go down. Now make sure when you fold them in, you push all the way in so you get that fabric in there. because you could get little pieces that don't go in straight, and then you'll have a little bump up here. So what you do is just pull it off, as I'm doing right now, because I didn't fold that in quite all the way in. Little dots of glue. There's the last piece right there. A little dot of glue on there. And push it in. And wow, what a coincidence that I'm wearing a top with some red and some black, and it's this is kind of blending into my top. But anyway, that's what we want to do. Can you see that where it's been folded in and it's just been glued down? So we're going to do that to the other side as well, okay? So this is something that you can do to wrap up your napkin ring with fabric, but using the fabric off a dollar roll of ribbon. This is the ribbon, and I happen to have another ribbon, so I had some spare leftover pieces, so that's what I used. But this is only $1. You get 3 yards here, and you're obviously not going to use 3 yards to do these little bits. So that would probably be kind of a better deal than maybe buying some fabric. Because sometimes you just don't know what to buy, so you buy a yard. I would think that if you bought a 1/4 yard, you would have more than enough to do some napkin rings, because some people do have a table setting of 8 or maybe even 10. I don't know, maybe some of you have more. And you want to do a bunch of napkin rings and have them all covered in the same fabric. But this is an inexpensive way to do it, is by using the Dollar Tree ribbon. And as I explained earlier, because we have this little thin ribbon, let me go ahead and decorate this one little napkin ring. I'm going to cut off, and I'm going to come back so that I can go ahead and glue all this, and you don't have to see me doing it again. All right, so I'm back. I've gone ahead and I've wrapped it all up and I've glued it in. I'm going to take a little piece of wire from my little spool here, and I've got my wire cutters that I needed for that. And now I'm going to use my needle nose pliers, because I'm going to take this ribbon, and I like this one that says Merry Christmas. And actually, I'm going to trim this so that my little end there ends right where it says Merry Christmas. Or actually, I could have ended it with a little snowflake, yes, but I went ahead and I did that like that. And then I'm just going to twist and make a couple of little loops. And another little tail going the other way. And I'm going to trim it right between Christmas, and then of course there's a little flake. It's not going to be perfect, okay? So now we're going to use our wire and twist our little bow. And you can make your little bow, you know, where you take them and you make the little loops and then tie them into each other. I'm going to trim off the excess wire, and then I'm going to use my needle nose pliers to roll that wire and then flatten it so that I have a little surface where I can put glue. So I'm just going to open this up, and I want my little tail that says Merry Christmas right at the very top, and that I can glue onto my little napkin ring. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little dot of glue, put that little ribbon right on there, like that. And then I can even use these little acorns to decorate it even more. So that would be one look right there. As you can see, that's what that would look like. If you don't want to use the acorns, I have these little red, or you could use gold jingle bells. You can glue those on. I think that would be really cute. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of glue and get one of those on there. You could do 2 or 3 of them on there. Let's glue them on. And just hear that. Okay, so look how cute that is with a little jingle bell. I could do a little combination and put jingle bell and a couple of little pine cones. I think I said acorn just a moment ago. A couple of little pine cones on there. Kind of at opposite sides. There you go. You can see the little ribbon that says Merry Christmas. Here's an idea. Let me show you how that would look on a napkin. Let's get those out of the way. We would fold up our napkin like that and slide that right in. And look at that. Look how pretty that looks on your napkin. Oops, sorry. This could be a red napkin. It could be a green napkin. Any color napkin that you want to use. Maybe even some browns combination with those pine cones. It would even look great on a cream or even a white napkin. I happen to have these, so I'm using these. And I think that looks really pretty on there. Okay, let's move on so we can do it. The ones with burlap. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do one. And I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just going to glue the fabric on here, and then I'm going to decorate it, and then we'll see what that will look like. So I'll be back. All right, I finished doing 6 napkin rings with the burlap, and I'm going to tell you, I'm absolutely loving it. Look at them, because you can see a little bit of the shimmer of the silver plastic napkin ring below it, so it kind of gives it a nice little shimmer. But I am going to go an extra step, and I'm going to add another little ribbon accent over the burlap, because I do have this ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby. Excuse me, I'm removing lots of glue from my fingers. Someone had given me some advice on what I could put on my fingers, and I think she said Vaseline. You put it on your fingers so it would be easier to get the little bits of glue that are on your fingers off. Okay, anyway, let's go on. I had this ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby. This is it's 30 feet, so it's 10 yards of ribbon. It was $2.99. I got it for $1.50, so I got it half off, and I've been using this ribbon in a lot of my crafts, and my sister-in-law has actually been using it in some of hers. So this ties in a lot of things, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now, obviously, it's too wide, but it wasn't wide enough to wrap around. But I still wanted that burlap look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to cut it in half. And now that I know that I need 6-inch pieces to do this, I'm going to cut 3 6-inch pieces. Let me go ahead and cut this straight on the end first. There we go. Let me cut 3 of these, and then I'm going to cut them each in half. When I was wrapping my burlap around, it overlapped about a quarter, not a quarter, but half an inch to almost 3/4 of an inch. The 6 inches, let me show you real quick here. See how it overlaps by that much? See that? So what I did is when I glued the little edge on, then I went ahead and I trimmed some of that burlap off. That way it wouldn't be so bulky here where it met, because the burlap is kind of bulky. It was a little bit harder to get it to, smoothly go around. There's some little bumps and such along the way on the edge, but I really like that. And that's up to you. And if you don't want that, obviously use a thinner type of fabric or use the ribbon, which worked perfectly fine. And of course, the burlap is going to cost you a little bit extra. It's just that I'm using it, burlap, in a lot of my other ornaments, and I have a runner on my dining room table that's burlap, so this is going to go great. Okay, so now I'm just going to fold this in half, because this is a 1.5-inch ribbon, and it's obviously, like I showed you, was too wide, and I don't want to hide the burlap, so I'm just going to go and cut approximately halfway down on each of these. And now I've got 6 little strips. And I'm going to do the same thing and wrap them around each of my little rings. And there we go. And I'm going to start right at the same seam. A little dot of glue. Wrap it around. It's bumping. Oh, I know it's bumping. Okay. There we go. Just like that. That's what I'm going to do to all my little rings, and I will be back. Okay, so here's my 6 napkin rings, and they've all now have this ribbon around them all, and I think they look really pretty. As you can see, there we go. We're going to decorate these, and I'm going to be using these little picks that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and I've gone ahead and I've taken one apart, and all I have to do is now take these little bits apart so that I can have this little twirly bit, and then these little cute little acorn and the little berries all taken apart, so that now I can decide what pieces I want to use. And I'm going to go ahead and take apart some more, and I think I'm going to choose some. I'm going to do 3 with the little berries and 3 with a little acorn, and each have 2 little leaves, and I might put these pine cones. If not, I'll use the other pine cones that I have, because these are 2 different ones, and I do have plenty of them, but I don't know if I want to take all of my picks apart. I've got like 8 of them or so. But before I go on, I wanted to show you what you can do with these picks. Now these picks, they're all on wire, and they're very, you can bend them, and they're flexible because they're on wire. And all you would have to do is just take off your price tag, just like you would anything else. And just as it is, it could become a napkin ring all on its own by taking this part of the wire and just folding it into a sort of circle, and then sliding your napkin right into it. And here you go. that's what you would create. You can create a napkin ring just using these little picks. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and continue. But before I do continue making my napkin rings, which I feel like at this point it's going to have to be something really extraordinary because it seems like I'm saving them, like they're just going to be so fantastic, but they're really going to be my taste, so it all depends on your taste. I went ahead and I wrapped another one with a burlap because I wanted to show you how the burlap can look really elegant. Now remember the little reindeer heads that I showed you are actually the little deer heads with the antlers that I showed you at the beginning. As you can see, they've got some bling to them. They could just be glued on straight onto this burlap, and obviously they would already make this look really elegant. You could also take some of your diamond wrap, and I'm going to measure out about just under 6 inches. There we go. I'm just going to cut whatever little piece, and then I'm going to cut 2 rows off. You could do 1 row or 3. So you could do 3 rows like that, because it's got 5 rows. This diamond wrap is 5 rows of these little diamond looking bits, or you could do 2 rows. So let's say we're going to do 2 rows. You could just glue it on and then bring it around and glue the other end on there like that. And if you want it, you could still add your little deer head, or you could take that little ribbon that I showed you, create a bow. Let me go ahead and do that. Just going to do some loopy loops and make a regular little bow. Well, goodness gracious, there we go. And I'm going to try and make it as evenly and nice as I can. Now this ribbon has got white and this is ivory, but there's nothing wrong with mixing and matching the colors. Now if I want it, I don't have to put anything on there. All I have to do is put this little bow, and as you can see, that would already look really pretty. So that's an idea. Another thing you could use instead of the diamond wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. I went ahead and I rummaged through my laces, but I didn't want to take too much time rummaging through, so I just grabbed the first one that I saw was thin enough to use for my little project here. So I found this one, and it's got some little holes in the little lace, so it's going to be perfect to use on here. So I'm going to sort of center it, this edge right here, and then I can wrap it around. Let me go ahead and put some glue, a little dot just to hold that. Bring it around, glue the other little end, and trim it. Okay, now a little dot of glue there for that end. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. I turn it around, a dot of glue. Now if the lace that you have has got, you know, both the ends are similar, then you don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I just found this ribbon and I saw it and I said, that's pretty, I'm going to use that. And it was quick to grab it, so I didn't have to keep digging. And look at that. Look how pretty that looks. That'll kind of give it like a little shabby chic look to it. You can use that same ribbon to decorate it, or just use a little reindeer as well to decorate. And I'm going to go ahead and put him on there. Now, I'm not going to put him going this way because when I put him on my napkin, the napkin rim is going to be like this. So I'm actually going to direct him, let's see, in the position that he should be. Let's get you some more glue on there. There we go. Just like that. Look at that. That looks really pretty. If you want, you can remove this little bow off of it and just have the little rhinestone on there, which is probably what I would do. But as you can see, that looks really pretty. You could take the 1 row instead of 2 rows of the diamond wrap and put that over the lace where it meets. And I want you to see how that looks. See? And that would all tie in. Okay, so there's just some little extra ideas. I'm going to continue on with mine. So like I said, I'm going to take 2 of the leaves for each one. Let's move that over to one and just grab one over here. Okay, so right here where I've got my seam, I'm going to cover all that up with my leaves. And remember, my ring is going to be like this. My napkin is going to go through it, so it's going to be sitting on the table like this. facing the person, or facing you, facing me. Okay, so I'm going to put one leaf there and the other one on the other side, like so. Just like that. That's all I'm going to do. Oops. Well, that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to use this little acorn, or what is this? It's a little acorn, I guess it is. Kind of like a little, some sort of berry acornish looking thing. Put him right in the middle. And I'm going to take some of these little pine cones and just look for the smallest ones. Put that on one side. Put another on the other side. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do to my napkin rings. Let's see how they look on our napkin. That looks really pretty. And there you go. I've done some rings. Let me go ahead and finish the rest of them and we'll be back. All right, so I've completed the other 5 napkin rings and I think they look really cute. So let me show you. I've got 3 with this acorn and 3 with the with the little berries on them. There they all are, and they look really pretty. I've got that on my napkin so that you can see how lovely that looks. But I'm not done yet. No, I've got yet another idea. Remember I showed you the bling wrap and I did cut it up and trim it and use it as a little trim. But I want to show you what it looks like if we completely cover it. Here's the diamond wrap from the Dollar Tree. And I've got a little scrappy bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue all along here. And then put down my little diamond wrap. And then I can put little dots of glue here and there, just so it doesn't move around. There we go. And actually I have to trim off one little line. There we go. More glue to finish it off and get those little ends on there. There we go. And I've completely covered it with the diamond wrap and it looks really pretty and blingy. Now there's 2 ways that I can do this. I can just put a little bow on it, make it nice and simple. Little pretty and elegant. That's all I need to do. But remember I have this garland. I showed you these and it looks just like a bunch of little jingle bells in the box. And then I've gone ahead and I've cut off some silver ones here. 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my diamond wrapped, because they have this little the little tops of them, they almost look like they're bling wrapped themselves. So I'm going to put 2 of those on there, and I'm still going to go ahead and add that little bow. Just put it right in there, just tuck it in. And push everything down. And there we go. So that's another jingle belled idea. Let's do one more because I still have a few more items, because remember I did have these little snowflakes that I also showed you. This is what they look like individually. Little fuzzy, glittery little snowflakes, and they're so pretty. So let me go ahead and get one more. And I'm just going to leave it on the spool so I can just trim it at the size. Glue all the way down. And besides this, I also have this ribbon. So just imagine that on there. That looks beautiful. Okay, let me go ahead and get this glue dotted onto it. Make sure it's aligned with the edges, and this diamond wrap fits just perfectly. It's 5 rows and it fits just perfectly onto this napkin ring. I think the Dollar Tree kind of like, maybe they think things ahead, because a lot of things seem to fit perfectly. Okay, there we go. I've wrapped that one up. And now we're here where I have the seam where it, I glue the 2 ends here. They're actually nice and flat because I didn't have to overlap anything. I'm going to put some glue, and I'm going to put one of these snowflakes on there. And as you can see, that looks really pretty all on its own. Or I could take some more of these little bells and put them right on there. I'm going to go ahead and put the gold ones just for the heck of it, because we can mix gold and silver. Now we want to make sure that snowflake is really, really well on there. Now, instead of putting the little bell, you could put a little rhinestone in there. You could put that little ribbon on there. Let me go ahead and put another little bell on there. Now, if you didn't want to use these big bells, we can use these little tiny little mini bells. But let me show you what that would look like with 2 of these big bells. And as you can see, that would look pretty, whether they're silver or gold. It doesn't matter. Let me go ahead and take that one off because I'm going to put these little tiny ones. They're so cute. I'm going to put a little puddle of glue down on here and glue these down, facing downward. I'm going to do 3, a little cluster of 3. And there we go. Look how that looks. Really elegant. Okay, one more idea, and we're going to need a little bit extra glue, is if we take a bunch of these little bells and we glue them all on our little napkin ring. You can do 3. You kind of have to push them outward a little bit. Do a row of 3 just like that and keep going all the way around until you finish. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back. All right, so I've gone ahead and I finished up my little napkin ring with all these little jingle bells. I will tell you that I did end up with a little bit of a gap right here because they didn't completely cover, and I put them up against each other as best as I could, but I will end up with a little gap here. So what you can do, that can be at the bottom of your napkin ring. So when you slide it onto your napkin, that could be at the bottom, so it'll lay nice and flat and it won't roll around. Now, if you're wondering how many of these jingle balls I use, I didn't count them, but I can tell you that I only used 3 over here, and this is all I've got left over. This is obviously not enough for 1 more, so I would suggest buying 1 bag per ring. Now, they're only $1 for each of these bags, and of course, the bag of napkin rings, which is 6, is only $1. So if you had 6 napkins, or say table setting of 6, you would spend $7 to make this napkin ring. There's just no way that you're going to find a napkin ring like this anywhere in the store and get 6 of them for $7. Okay. I went ahead and I even put that black ribbon on here and a little bit of that diamond wrap so you could see that look. And I'm going to just slide that onto the napkin so that you can see how they all look on the napkins. Look how pretty that is. Just imagine them on a white napkin or a red napkin or just any color other than the green that I'm using. How elegant that would look even on a black napkin. These ideas can be used for other occasions, not just Christmas, okay? So just go crazy. Get your imagination going. Let me remind you of the very first one that I made, that I wrapped up with the Dollar Tree ribbon, the Dollar Tree little tiny ribbon here as well. Here's another one where I just used the pick, rolled it around. Here's one with a burlap, and I wanted to do a little shabby chic kind of look. A little blingy with my little antler heads. And of course, the one that I have made for myself. So tell me what you think of these ideas. Which one did you like best? Are you blingy? Are you traditional? What do you think? Shabby chic or not? Country? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Leave something nice, as a lot of you have been doing. Thank you very much. I really love reading all your comments. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. I've been kind of busy doing these little 12 days of Christmas videos for you, so it's really hard to be on the laptop and answering all of you. But I don't think any of you have had any questions. I think I did see one that asked about a Christmas tree, how I'm going to decorate my Christmas tree. So that is something I'm definitely going to consider. I do have already a list of what I'm going to do, but maybe I'll knock something out and put that in there. All right, so there you go. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Make sure you share on your social media. And as always, enjoy.